Welcome back, everybody. For today's topic, I'm going to talk about something a little different. Not sure if this has really been discussed by anyone. I'm sure to some degree it has. But it's popped in my head the last few days. Didn't even have this concept as an idea for this podcast until basically a few hours before this is airing. But to some degree, I want to try and talk today about what I'm going to call neckbeard culture. Obviously we have cancel culture, and we all know about that. How people will go out of their way to find something about someone that they don't like or don't agree with and try and get them canceled. Usually it's over the top and ridiculous. On rare occasion, it's actually for the best to get someone removed from a position where obviously they shouldn't be in it. But I'm finding now, especially the last few weeks, I'm noticing just this entire neckbeard culture, which, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's basically when it's like being a spoiled brat, but you're 30, live at home in the basement, and can't do anything more productive than bitch. It's basically if something that you like has been altered or changed, and instead of just saying, well, that's not what I like, oh well, you basically let the whole world know that you're not happy and that what your opinion is more important than anything else. So just to give you a couple quick examples, if you're still not sure what I'm talking about, look at the final season of Game of Thrones. Was it as great as the other ones? Absolutely not. Was it still okay? Yeah, it's far from perfect. The main thing was, in my opinion, that it was rushed. The two showrunners just wanted to be done with the show. They wanted to move on with their careers. And they rushed it so much to the point that it didn't come out anywhere good at all. And now they don't even have anything lined up. But the problem is, it's not that people could say, wow, I feel let down because I know it could have been better, even if it's not the ending I had in mind. I was hoping for something better. It's the fact that that came out, I don't know, 14 months ago, and people still go out of their way to complain about it. I have friends that basically will just randomly bring up how much they hate the last 2 seasons of Game of Thrones. They do it to the equivalent of a regular conversation like, hey, how are you? How's the weather? With them, it's, hey, remember how bad the final season of Game of Thrones was? I'm still so upset about it. It ruined the entire franchise. No, it didn't. It's not what you wanted, and it sure, it wasn't great, but, move on. It's been over a year. But it doesn't stop with Game of Thrones. I'm seeing it all over the place with video games, movies. I'll admit to a degree, I was part of this. It's actually on this channel. There's a video that Will and I did talking about the Rise of Skywalker and how we were not happy with it. Yeah, it came out. I was definitely disappointed. That's probably what it is more than anything. Not angry, not bitter, just disappointed because I had high hopes for the Disney Star Wars sequel trilogy, and when Episode 7 came out, I actually enjoyed it, but as time went on, I realized it was more nostalgia more than anything is why I enjoyed it. Episode 8 I still really enjoy. I think within a few years you're going to see everyone saying that that's the best episode of the 3. Right now, most people will say it's the worst, but that'll change. But Episode 9 just wasn't, it wasn't good. And that should be the end of it. I shouldn't have to, come on here and say to you, hey, Episode 9 was really bad, and here's 50 reasons why, and here's how it's ruining my life, and I can't move on as a human being. That's basically what neckbeard culture is. And it's called neckbeard because of these pictures here I'm putting on the screen. People like this actually exist. Some people don't know how to fully shave their face, cheeks, and neck, and some reason they just leave the hair on their neck grow out, and it's absolutely disgusting. I have no problem with people who grow out their beards, who keep a clean face, handlebar mustache, whatever. Don't leave your neck grow and shave the rest. It's disgusting. But I'm kind of just rambling on here. I'm just trying to meet my time quota for the channel so I don't get fired. Um, yeah, it's just I don't know why as a society, and this is mainly with guys. I don't really think girls do this too much. I mean, I have friends that are female. Um, they got upset about video games and Game of Thrones, for example. But like one of my closest friends is a girl, and she was big on Game of Thrones. Maybe we've had two conversations about that since the show ended, and it was literally just in a throwaway text like, "Yeah, what could have been? Oh well," and that was it. Meanwhile, I have friends that are guys that will randomly send me videos making fun of the last couple of episodes, and I'm just saying, I'm still so upset about this. Why? Don't you have other things to be upset about? I mean, especially the way the world is now. Like, I feel maybe that's why I'm talking about this. Maybe 2020 has taught me that there are bigger issues, bigger problems that, maybe I can no longer see something that I don't like and just be like, oh, blah, blah, rah, 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 I'm going to bitch and moan about this forever. When I realize that everything that's happened in the last few months is completely different. That stuff is actual things to be upset about, to want to upgrade, want to fix, and there's about 5 different things we can all think of in a snap that need to be changed. But I just don't understand it. There's 2 things that happened within the last like 24 hours that really led to this video happening. The first one being Final Fantasy VII Remake, which is a game I'm playing right now, and I absolutely love it. I think it's amazing. There's a chance that if I had to give you my top 10 games of all time, it's either making the top 10 or it's right off to the side. Also, if more than 3 people watch this video, maybe I'll do a video on that. We need those views. But basically, I was looking up different stuff for the game because I was trying to make sure I got everything. I'm toward the end of it, and basically toward the end now, there's like one whole section where basically the game says finish up any of your side quests, finish up any of your exploring, stuff like that. Once you go to the next thing, that's it. That's going to be the end of the game. That's going to be the final like level or 2. You can't go back. So I was trying to remember where certain things were, exploring, so I'm looking up videos for it. And then I'm seeing different videos pop up and suggested, like, 5 things I wish I knew about the game. And I watched 1 or 2 and I'm like, oh, I wish I knew that too. And then, other things like, oh, I knew about this. And then I got a video suggested. I'll put the link in the description. You watch it if you want, or don't. I don't really care. I forget the title of it, but it was something along the lines of like the disaster of Final Fantasy VII, like Nomura's, downfall. For those of you who don't know, Tetsuya Nomura was the director for this remake. His name is plastered all over it, and he is also the mastermind behind the Kingdom Hearts series, which is near and dear to my heart. But it's also so crazy at the same time. There's so many different plot points that go all over the place. You can never fully explain it. Like, I wish I could just have a conversation with Gene. We're both big on this franchise. We can't even sit there and have a conversation about the entire franchise because we get confused and we know everything. So I think this specific review was annoyed at how, I guess backstory. I never played the original Final Fantasy VII. I got the Steam edition for it during quarantine. I haven't touched it yet. I figured I would try it after I finish this because I know the remake isn't completely done yet. It's going to come out in different parts over the years. It'll probably be like 3 to 4 parts, and I think that's pretty cool. But this guy's like, oh, it shouldn't be done in chapters and parts. It should be one big game. Honestly, dude, you want one big game of Final Fantasy VII, it wouldn't be coming out until like 2026. So be happy with what you got now. Be happy you're going to get more within a year or 2. But basically, It's just that he's like, it should have been this because I say so, because I played this game when I was 4 years old and it changed my life, and I know more. I What my opinion is more important than the people who actually created the game, the people that are willing to take the time and effort to remake a game and change things up. It's not exactly the same. They're changing plot points, they're adding things, they're removing things. They're trying to make it for the hardcore fan and for the new fan like me. And it's working for the new fans, I feel, because a lot of people that are new to it are loving it. But this guy's 100% a neckbeard because literally he starts the video off by going, "I loved this game as a kid. It meant everything to me." Like it's almost like the dentist system. Or maybe it's not the dentist system. Maybe that's not the right paraphrasing. But it's like he wants you to feel bad for him. Yeah, it is the dentist system. Sympathy. He wants you to feel bad for him because this game means so much to him and they've ripped his heart out. They've ruined it for, the sake of money and this and that. And then I don't even want to talk about it because I could rant about this for the next 45 minutes. But he basically refers to Nomura in the game as being like this autistic, like, game. It's just like, I was like, how could you call a game or like a creator or whatever autistic? Like, whether or not Nomura has autism, I highly doubt it. And if he did, so what? Who cares? But like, I just like if that's the best insult you could come up with, I was just really thrown away by that. Like, how could you call something autistic? I've seen people talk about that with The Last of Us too. Also, that's another Neckbeard game. People don't like that because that became, according to them, it's all SJW. Even though the original game, it was implied that one of the main characters was gay, but now it's like a problem because they added a female character, and they don't like that it's a strong female character. And when I say strong female character, I literally mean like she's 6 foot and weighs like 220 pounds. It's just like pure muscle. Um, I'm not like, I'm not a super liberal. I'm not a super conservative, but like kind of, it kind of goes along like that liberal route of like, are like they afraid of this woman? It's fucking weird. But like, they didn't like that they changed the story. That they're mad that the main male character was killed. For silly reasons. They probably could have waited till the end of the game to kill him. I haven't played it yet. The Last of Us, for those of you who haven't played, it's definitely a lot more plot-based as a video game than actual gameplay. The gameplay is pretty linear. It doesn't seem like anything crazy. Um, but I don't really know where I'm going with this, honestly. Like I said, I'm just trying to meet my deadline at the last minute. But Neckbeards, man, yeah, it's just like, I'm sorry that things are different. It's not what you wanted. It's not exactly what it was when you grew up with it. And I get that. Because, like, I'll stand by the Kingdom Hearts 1 is the best game in the entire franchise. Do I like everything they did with Kingdom Hearts 3? No. It felt a little different. Maybe the nostalgia wasn't there. But I still really appreciate it for, trying to wrap up the Xehanort saga, as they call it. Again, as always, amazing music, great characters. They did some great things with the worlds. I enjoyed it. Just because it wasn't the best game ever made, doesn't mean I'm going to let that ruin my view of it. But yeah, if you're a neckbeard and you're listening to this, grow a pair of balls and just move on. Just say, gee, that wasn't really what I was looking for, but, maybe things will change in Final Fantasy Remake Part 2, or, The Last of Us 3. Just, no one really cares, Anyone that's liking your videos, like, you tell them, man, is also just a neckbeard who is just, honestly, you're probably jerking off while listening to this video because you're jerking off about how much you hate something. And, don't get too much of the jizz in your neckbeard, okay? Because that's really gross, and it already smells to begin with. Oh my god! Again, where am I going with this? I'm just gonna call it quits now because this is just going nowhere. Yeah, I'm gonna try and make some better videos in the future. I have some actual legitimate ideas for podcasts. I want to try and do something on the importance of music in video games. I want to try and talk about um, different things with different books and movies, like the Lord of the Rings trilogy and The Hobbit. I have some great ideas there. I might try and do some more B grade gaming videos, B grade reading videos. Those seem to do really well with our foreign watchers. So thanks for that if you're listening to this one. So yeah, I'm just gonna cut it off here because I've been just rambling too long. I'm becoming a neckbeard. I'm realizing that I'm scratching my neck that I shaved just a few hours ago, and there's a lot of hair here. So I better quit while I'm ahead. Thanks for listening. Adios.